Simon, you were up in Manchester.
I was.
You watched Liam Smith demolish Eubank Jr.
Indeed he did.
And you've been telling Stuart and I the atmosphere was like second to none.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. The whole 99% behind Liam. And what a performance.
It was indeed.
What a performance.
So,
finish.
I think it would be wrong of a Stuart Pearce not to congratulate Liam Smith as and when we can. So let's do it now. Liam Smith, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Liam, now the dust is settled on that fantastic win. Has it sunk in, the level of the achievement?
Yeah, obviously it's sunk in because it's what I was confident of doing all along. But, you know, obviously it's still a great feeling to think back of the night I had, you know, from as a whole, with the crowd, the ring walk, the results. And obviously, like the praise I'm getting at the moment is great, obviously. But the results, I was always confident I could beat Chris Eubank Jr. Obviously, it was in a little bit of better fashion than probably people thought, but I was always confident I'd get the win either way.
Have you got sort of newfound respect for each other now, Liam? We saw you kind of making up at the end of it.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, you know, a few things, the build-up got a little bit stupid, but you know, I always respected Chris as a fighter. I sparred him. I always knew why I trained the way I trained because I knew Chris was a tough fight. He's always a tough fight for anybody. So, you know, I always have respect for him. You know, I said beforehand, I don't hate the man. I don't wish him any harm in life. I just think we're two polar opposites, and we'd never get on. And I think it got said beforehand, if we worked in a coffee shop or a office building, we probably wouldn't get on. So that's what it was. But
so Liam, I mean, thank you for joining us live. Before Simon comes in, and Simon was there and he's been raving about it. Is there anything you want to say at this stage? And I don't want to deflate you in any way after the achievement that we saw you experience on Saturday night. But what I can tell you is the talkSPORT team sat ringside for the fight. They witnessed a fan shouting homophobic abuse at Eubank Jr. after the defeat. Do you feel now that pre-fight news conference and what was said in it, specifically by you to him, was regrettable?
Yeah, obviously the way it's come out and the way it's been, look, social media is a powerful thing now in both ways. So yeah, obviously I fully regret it, and I fully it's come across so wrong in the way I played it out and wanted it to be. It's you know, it shouldn't have been said anyway. But it was a press conference, and it was kind of forget between there's cameras and, like I said, there's millions of people watching it. So you know, I fully regret the whole build up. And you know, I apologise to anyone who took offence by it. And you know, I'm not a homophobic man. I come from a good family. I'm far from a homophobic, and I fully apologise to anybody who took offence to that. And you know, I can only apologise. And I say I've obviously lost fans who I'll probably never get back. The ones who I can't try and change their opinion, I fully apologise. And you know, I'm far from a homophobic man.
Liam, I was obviously at the fight on Saturday night, and fantastic, by the way. I thought a couple of things. I thought your brother Paul did a brilliant interview on Friday after the press conference. I thought he spoke fantastically about the relationship you boys have and the expectations of this fight. When you went into the fight, Liam, I mean, the atmosphere was fantastic in the arena. What did you make of Eubank in terms of, you know, you went into, I thought the first couple of rounds you struggled to close the gap. The third round he was uppercut happy and caught you with a couple of big shots, reasonably big shots. Did you expect him? Did you expect to demolish him the way that you did? Because he didn't seem to have much punch resistance, and I also noticed you turn around and say that he seemed to be very frightened of getting hit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought round one, I just thought Chris was very, very scared. Again, that's the way they use. He's scared of getting hit, and us as boxers don't really mind taking a punch, as much as that sounds crazy. And I thought, you're terrified of getting hit here. And I thought, right, I'm going to nail you soon. And obviously, you know, eventually I did, but it was more so to the point all week. It was like I got told, I cannot hit Chris to the head. Chris can't be hit to the head. And I thought, you're a fool if you think that any fighter can be hit. And that was the best way to answer the people who thought Chris has got a good chin, but in boxing, anybody can be hit. Carl Froch had a great chin, got dropped off George Groves, and
That's right.
That was the best way to answer that
I
question.
noticed you say, Liam, that you got. I'm not going to use the word that you use, but you got a telling off at the end of the third round. What were you told at the end of the third round? Because I don't think anyone, irrespective of people being able to knock one another out if they get hit, I don't think anyone saw that fourth round coming in the way that it did and as quick as it did. And I think the whole arena went off because of the nature of the finish. But what were you told at the end of the third round to get your head in the game?
I was just told stop. Basically, in different words, stop trying to be a tough man. Obviously, the plan was be a tough man later on in the fight, hold your feet, push him back when Chris is, I wanted to make Chris work at a pace he doesn't like working at. And when I say doesn't like working at, my point of the fight was Chris is fit and durable, but I don't think he's got the energy he used to have, whether that's his age, whether that's the weight. I just don't. The last 3 fights, when I said before, and strip it back, I don't think Chris works as hard as he used to work. And late on in the fight, I would have pressed the fight a little bit more and made Chris punch when he didn't want to punch. So, but obviously I'd done that in a stage in round 3 and got caught off a couple of uppercuts, and Chris got a bit greedy with the uppercut then. And I got to tell him off saying, no, don't dare hold your feet, it's too early. It's only round 3. And
Liam, what about this rematch? I mean, ultimately, I personally think that you should be allowed to go on your journey and fight bigger fights and maybe get a world title shot rather than being dragged into a rematch because Chris Eubank wanted a clause in there if there was some sort of debate about the outcome or if it was slightly marginal. You cleaned his clock. It's the end of the discussion. You knocked him out. You'll take the fight if you have to, but would you prefer to go on and have bigger and better things because you've done your job there?
Yeah, I think, I would like to push on now and see where I can go if I can become world champion again. That was a huge night. 6th off, I've had a huge night, a huge fight with Chris Eubank Jr. I've won. I'd love to move on now. But look, the rematch clause got put in by Chris and Chris's team.
Yeah.
Now it's down to Chris to take that. He's got to sit and watch that fight back. And like you say, look, that's a damaging defeat to come back from Chris. Again, his pride on, he sets out that his pride on his chin is so good. And he's got to sit and watch, he's got to watch himself stumbling around the ring, not knowing the fight's being stopped, wanting to carry on. He didn't know where he was, and he's got to watch that back and then decide if he wants a rematch. If he does want a rematch, it's going to be mentally tough for Chris because he's going to get back in with the man who knocked him out. And like I said, the only man to knock him out and the only man to drop him. And we've seen his dad's post, which is a very nice post.
I saw it, yeah, saw it.
So it's going to be mentally challenging for Chris to come back.
Yeah, Stuart Pearce is with us this morning. Is it right that you took up Stuart's sport on Sunday morning? You were on the footy field again, were you?
Can we not talk about that? I missed the penalty.
Join the club, my friend. Join the club.
What do you think about what Liam did?
It's unbelievable. It just shows how grounded he is, just to turn up. And I bet you'd have been the toast of the Sunday morning pitch, wouldn't you? What's it like to actually box the night before and turn up and play the next day? Football.
Look, I've always done that. Something I've always done when I was a prospect, when I was world champion, and even towards the end. And I've probably got the longest left playing football as I have in my boxing career. But I love football. I always have. It was my first choice of sport. It was my preferred choice of sport. I just weren't as good at football as I was at boxing. So, I love the football. I love the amateur football, the Sunday League, as we call it. And like I said, I was the toast beforehand, but I was the laughing stock after it.
Liam Smith, as always, mate, it's been great speaking to you. Thanks for addressing that matter as well, regards the exchange in the pre-fight press conference, because I think that was important, Liam. But congratulations on what was a phenomenal performance as you blew away Eubank Jr. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.